What I'm going to show you here is how to shoot and like Platon. Platon has this great body of work. He's been shooting on the same camera and lighting setup for his entire known career, bar his documentary work. It's a great example of someone who's found a style and a technique that works. And although what I'm going to show you here is exactly how he shoots it, what actually makes him great is him himself. So I can't show you how to be Platon. I can't show you how to get that from the subject. I can't show you what actually makes his work, but I can show you the technical to it. And I think it's interesting to know that. And one of the ways that I learned photography was by copying other photographers, learning what they did, and then taking bits that I liked and bits that I didn't like. So we're going to go through the kit, the shot, and the whole shebang. Now, I don't have the exact same kit he has. I'm going to show you what I'm using and then say what he uses. So camera-wise, I'm on a GFX medium format. I'm shooting in portrait but cropping to square because he shoots on a Hasselblad 500cm film camera. We're shooting black and white, he shoots black and white film. Lens-wise, I've got a 65 on the front here, or 60 I think it is, which is kind of slightly wide. He shoots slightly wider than that on his Hasselblad, but I don't have the equivalent lens, unfortunately, for this particular camera. I'm on a technical camera. That's not what he uses at all. He uses a proper Hasselblad with a waist level finder, which is why I've got my Fuji out here with the waist level finder pointed up. So I'm looking at the screen so I can get that same subject engagement. And then shooting through a trusty £2 shoot through umbrella. He uses the good quality Profoto ones. They do make a big difference. He'd have a Profoto light up here. I've got an old Bowens because it's already on the stand. And I've got a quad pack here as well. So it's a 3000 watt light. We're sitting currently at f8, 100 ISO, 125th of a second. We're on the Cambo light boom. This just makes life incredibly easy. We can move the light and let go of it and it stays in place because a lot of this is about light placement. Stays roughly in place. There we go. So I've got JC here again. He's my subject for the day. He's in his Batman t-shirt. I want to try and get out of him as strong of an image as possible. I'm manually focusing on bellows. I've got the focus sorted. I've got my light coming in here. It's slightly to camera left. It's not dead on. I've put it slightly to the side in the hope that we get a little bit more of a dynamic look. I'll take a quick test frame just to make sure we're getting decent exposure and that the crop's okay. And we're not bad. We're slightly off on the crop, but we can fix that in post almost. His arms are too big. That's the main issue we're having here. So just quick come over to the computer, just adjust that crop slightly. Might even come in a bit tighter actually. There we go. So it's nice, we've got the beautiful strip of light down the front, the extreme fall off of light, great shadow details in there, and then it falls to complete black, which is what we're liking here. So, JC, what I'm going to need you to do is just really big folded arms. That's great. I want to lift your head up a bit high. That's good. And let's have you looking, let's try looking this way first of all, and then up a little bit more towards me with your face. That's great. That's kind of cool, yeah. Bit of bombastic side eye. That's a way for that to come through. That's great, it's very strong. So we've got those, because we're shooting down low here, we're going upwards, so the arms are massive, and it's really sort of bringing it to a point at the top with the head. So let's go for that again, but give me this, I'm looking to the side, eye towards me, and then, yeah, a bit more of a, that's great. Chin up a little bit higher for me. That's good. A little bit more. Perfect. That's great. Turn your head a little bit more towards camera. There's good, yeah. And this one, kind of snarl a little bit. It's great. A bit of teeth though this time, I think. That's right, that's good. I'm just going to change my shooting mode here. I'm on single shot, which is never a good. So just go to drive. Good high speed, because for some reason tethering works better on these cameras with that. That's good. What I'm really liking here is I'm looking down here, so we don't have any intimidating eye contact going on. It's not me looking straight through the camera with my face. It's looking down to sort of waist. That's great. Lift your chin up again a little bit higher for me. That's it. Go for it. That's great. Lovely. And then head this way a little bit for me. And eyes towards me. And then, yeah, really go for it. That's great. We've got a couple of black frames here. I'm shooting too fast. Let's go to drive. Let's go down to low speed burst. That might be better. That's great. Let's go chin up a little bit with doing that again. And again with the tongue. That's perfect. Wait there. This, I think not this shot, but the next one's come through. That's brilliant. That's great. Right, let's turn your body this way a little bit. That's good. A little bit less, a bit more towards me. I want to see that back shoulder still. That's good. Yep, perfect. Arms folded again. Head up a tiny bit. That's great. What I want to do here is just move the light slightly. So again, it's that one light setup. We're just going to come a little bit further round. That's perfect. That's great. And just chin up and looking off this way a little bit. Perfect. I still see both eyes, which I like. You're going to have to adjust these crops slightly. I don't have a square crop on the back here. I'm looking at it in 6:5 aspect ratio. That's great. And then again, so really like aggressive. Yeah, perfect. Wait for this. That's a really strong shot there. This one. I'm loving it. Right, straight to camera with your face this time and doing the exact same thing. That's great. And just check focus. I think you've moved a little bit closer to me. Stay where you are. This is where this camera is not ideal for this sort of work. That's brilliant. That's good. Okay, go for it. That's good. And I think when you see this come through, I think it does look better off to the side. Yeah, definitely to the side. So face to the side. That's great. Chin up a tiny bit. Go for it. Perfect. Love it. That's great. And I think the shot we'll go with this one here, it's got to be this frame. I think that's probably the best frame of those, but I also quite liked, I think that's a really strong portrait. If you just adjust that crop slightly. Keeping it in nice and tight. I think that's probably quite a good portrait for this. So it's a really simple setup. And the brilliance of this, and the reason I use Platon as an example so often when talking to people, he has one lens, one camera, and one lighting setup and built an entire career just off that. So just the simplicity of it. And then once you've nailed whatever your setup is, all you have to worry about is your subject. Now, this is not the subject matter I normally shoot, so it's not my strong point. But in my own work, we have pretty much one lighting setup for everything. And because of that, I can focus all my energy and all my time just into what it is that's in front of the camera and how to make that look as good as possible. And that's the difference between making average money in photography and making good money.